Suzanne Morphew was born on April 30 in 1971. She grew up in Alexandria, Indiana, where she was nominated for Homecoming Queen. She met Barry Morphew in 1988, and the two dated throughout high school. The couple married on August 6 in 1994 at the Grace Baptist Church in Anderson, Indiana. Barry Morphew was born on October 17 in 1967. He was a star athlete in high school, and played baseball. He was drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays. However, an unforeseen injury squashed his dream of being in the major leagues. Barry and Suzanne both went to Purdue University. Suzanne received her degree, and worked as a middle school teacher. When her daughters came along, she became a stay-at-home mom. Barry started his own landscaping business. The couple had two beautiful daughters, 16-year-old Macy, who was still living at home and attending high school. Mallory attended college and lived in the college dorm. The family purchased their $1.5 million home just outside of Salida, Colorado to be closer to their daughter Mallory. The couple experienced a rough patch in their relationship. They felt a new home and surroundings may help repair their marriage. 2 days before Mother's Day in 2020, Suzanne's sister, Melinda Mormon, said she received a text message from her sister. The text was long and revealed her anger toward her husband. In the text she told her sister, "He's also been abusive emotionally and physically." She went on to say that she was angry at what she has allowed. She also told her sister she was scared of her husband. On May 10, the Chaffee County 911 center received a call from a man stating his next-door neighbor, Suzanne Morphew, is missing. The neighbor told the dispatcher what Barry told them, that she went out for a bike ride in the area of Country Road 225 and West US 50, and did not return. On the first day of the search, authorities found her bicycle close to the family home down a very small ravine.
Yeah. Maybe see if you can get that up to the road and then check the serial number or call the husband and see what kind of bike she has.
Somebody chip you, buddy.
Chip you, love.
Can you try to call the husband and see what type of bike she has? Right now I'm staring at a Santa Cruz blue and color.
We'll be right there.
After a more thorough look, investigators think the scene was staged. Suzanne's helmet was found a few days later about a mile away off Highway 50, on the side of the road. Investigators believe someone driving by threw it out of their window. Police suspect foul play. She was either abducted by a stranger or someone who knew her routine. After investigators found the bike and helmet, Barry made a plea to the public.
And if anyone is out there that can hear this, that has you, please, we'll do whatever it takes to bring you back. We love you, we miss you, your girls need you. No questions asked. However much they want, I will do whatever it takes to get you back. Honey, I love you. I want you back so bad.
Barry offered a $100,000 reward for any information leading to the safe return of his wife. A friend matched his reward, bringing it to a total of $200,000. Barry began speculating to the public that a mountain lion may have took Suzanne. However, a mountain lion attack always leaves signs. There would have been obvious signs of a struggle and drag marks, as well as blood and clothing. A mountain lion attack was ruled out by authorities. It also became questionable that Suzanne even went on a bicycle ride to start with. Her hydration pack and sunglasses were found in her car. Suzanne's purse was in her vehicle. Inside the purse was her driver's license and all her credit cards. Nothing was missing except her phone. Barry told investigators he came home around 3 p.m. on the day before Mother's Day in 2020. He said the two had a very good evening together. The next morning, Mother's Day, he claims he drove to a job over 3 hours away. He claims when he left the home she was still asleep in their bed. He said she was supposed to go bike riding when she woke up. 10 days into the investigation, authorities found a spy pen in the master bedroom of the family home. A spy pen has a hidden digital camera that can capture video footage as well as secret conversations. The pen was purchased by Suzanne to try to capture her husband cheating, however it revealed that Suzanne was talking to someone named Jeff and having an affair. Police began trying to identify Jeff. They felt he could be a possible suspect in the case. However, Suzanne hid her affair so well it took Federal Bureau of Investigations over 6 months to figure out who Jeff was. Police were finally able to figure out the man Suzanne was having an affair with. His name was Jeff Libler. He was married with 6 children, and lived in Michigan. It turns out the two had a one-night stand in high school. Suzanne contacted Jeff on Facebook in 2018, right after Suzanne and Barry moved to Colorado. After messaging Jeff, the two began talking every day. After Suzanne disappeared, Jeff was quiet, and went to great lengths to hide their secret relationship. He deleted all of his social media accounts that he talked with Suzanne on. However, once agents were able to figure out his identity, he began cooperating. He told investigators the only reason he deleted his social media accounts and tried to keep their relationship secret was to not harm Suzanne's image, and he didn't want to lose his family and career. He also feared he may become a suspect. Once he was discovered, he was very cooperative and provided police with his passwords for all his deleted accounts, a DNA sample, and his cell phone records. With access to his accounts, investigators were able to review their relationship, their interactions, and the location and times they met in person. The two sent revealing photos to one another. The couple met on many occasions in different states. Suzanne would tell her family she was going on vacation, then head off to meet Jeff. The messages between the two reveal not only a sexual relationship, but emotional as well. The two often talked about getting married. They even discussed moving away together, possibly to another country. On the day Suzanne disappeared, she and her lover Jeff messaged each other a total of 59 times. She sent the last known selfie to Jeff, and told him she is in love with him. At some point Jeff asked if Suzanne wanted to get naked on video. Suzanne agreed and pulled up WhatsApp. She told him she was ready. At around the same time, her husband, Barry, sent a message that he was finished with his job for the day, and headed home, but Suzanne didn't answer him. It's unknown if she noticed the message and ignored him or if she just didn't see it. Jeff told authorities that while they were texting, Suzanne all of the sudden stopped responding to him. Police notice at this exact time Suzanne stopped responding to Jeff's messages. Barry's phone was pinging all around the outside of the home for quite some time. When questioned, he claimed he was chasing and shooting chipmunks at that time. However, there was no evidence of any chipmunks being shot around his house. No dead chipmunks, no shell casings, no bullets, nothing associated with what Barry claims happened. Between the time Suzanne went missing and the chipmunk alibi, Barry had been interviewed numerous times without a lawyer. After a very thorough investigation, Jeff Libler was dropped off the suspect list. He was working in Michigan during the time of Suzanne's disappearance, and there was solid proof of that. When Barry was told about Suzanne's affair with Jeff, he claimed he didn't know anything about it. And investigators believe this was probably true. She kept her affair very secretive. Even the FBI took several months to uncover it. Investigators then began searching for a motive. Why would Barry want to make his wife disappear? After reviewing Barry's phone records, they found a deleted text message. Suzanne sent Barry a message just a couple of days before she went missing that said, "I'm done. I could care less what you're up to and have been for years. We just need to figure this out civilly." Investigators said that Barry knew his daughters would be away on their camping trip on the evening that Suzanne disappeared, and they believe that he killed Suzanne, then cleaned the area. Phone records show that from 2:47 p.m. until 10:17 p.m. on the day that Suzanne disappears, Barry's phone was oddly placed in airplane mode. Barry claimed he went to bed at 8 p.m. the night before Mother's Day, then woke up at 4:30 a.m., and left the family home around 5 a.m. to drive to the site where he was working in Broomfield, a location near Denver. The area is 150 miles from their home. However, the report pulled from Barry's truck shows something totally different. It shows his truck was moving after 9:30 p.m., and as early as 3:30 a.m., and the doors on the truck were being opened and shut in the hours between. Investigators found there was no activity at all on the vehicle's computer between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. on the morning of Mother's Day. The vehicle's computer can overwrite files, which is what investigators believe happened during the 4-hour window when nothing was recorded. Barry accidentally gave the missing information. He told investigators that instead of turning right onto the road he usually takes, he turned left and took another route because he spotted some elk. This was the same road where Suzanne's helmet was later found. His truck's computer began tracking his locations again at 8:10 a.m. and airplane mode also was turned off. The truck's data and Barry's phone show he pulled off at a garbage can at a Broomfield bus stop and discarded something in the trash. Then he drove to a Broomfield hotel and discarded something in their outside trash, a warehouse parking lot dumpster, then at a McDonald's trash can. He then backtracked back to the same hotel and dumped more stuff in their dumpster. Police believe he was discarding evidence in different locations. Not only did his phone and truck computer data show him in the area, but also surveillance footage picked him up at the garbage cans and dumpsters. Barry claimed this was just a normal day at his job. That he uses the dumpsters and trash cans to discard his job garbage materials instead of paying his own disposal. Investigators believe that during the time that his phone was in airplane mode he was cleaning the crime scene, and getting rid of incriminating evidence. After going to the work site, Barry went back to his hotel room at the Holiday Inn. He was in the room from 12:42 until 6:03 p.m. At some point during that time he spoke with his daughter Mallory. She told her father she could not get in touch with her mother. After speaking with his daughter, Barry contacted their next-door neighbors and had them check on Suzanne. They could not locate her. Barry asked them to check if her bike was there. The neighbor found the bike was not where it should be. Barry then told his neighbor to call 911 and report that Suzanne was missing. Barry then dropped off some tools, a shovel and other digging tools, to his co-workers, and told them he had a family emergency, and arranged hotel rooms for some of the workers. One of the workers took over Barry's room. The employee told investigators that the room smelled strongly of bleach. The manager at the hotel later confirmed that they do not use chlorine to clean guest rooms and have handed security footage from the weekend of May 9th over to police. By 6 p.m. on the evening of Suzanne's disappearance, Barry drove back to Salida. On his way home, Barry spoke with police and they informed him they found Suzanne's bicycle. He arrived at the ravine where the bike was located at 8:40 p.m.
Hey, besides, I know the bike is here, but what are some of the paths that, or like the trails, like this?
She rides this road. She rides up to the top, and then she goes up to Flus's.
Okay,
if there's no snow, she'll go up high to Flus's. She's went down this one a couple times.
Down this one here too?
Yeah.
Okay. So double check the research over there too, because I think
Well,
was it
see,
Miles? I think
see.
Miles. Yeah, I know. We just want to double check everything. So
Did
yeah,
anybody look for foot tracks on the road?
I haven't seen anything really, but
Like people tracks? You're lying?
I didn't really notice. But I won't lie, I'm not like an expert tracker or something, you know. Yeah. So my partner was actually the one that saw it and picked it up, but it was like the top of it was weird because it feels like the top of the bike was like up this way.
So maybe flipped.
Maybe, I don't know.
Authorities say that when Barry arrived he was very upset and emotional for the first few minutes. By the next evening, Suzanne's daughters arrived home but their mother was nowhere to be found. After Suzanne was reported missing, an immediate search operation by Chaffee County Search and Rescue Team was initiated, including 8 tracking dogs and drones, and divers in local water areas. More than 100 people searched for Suzanne, but she was nowhere to be found. After 4 months, Suzanne's brother, Andrew Mormon, organized a massive search to find his sister. However, despite the efforts, she was never located. Suzanne's sister, Melinda Mormon, said that Barry was very dominant in their marriage. She also said that Suzanne was someone who was gentle. Barry could easily overpower her and intimidate her sister to get what he wanted. During the investigation, police discovered that Suzanne texted another close friend about Barry. She said he wouldn't even discuss a divorce. She told her friend she had no peace when he's around, and she didn't feel safe alone with him. Barry was the prime suspect. Statistically, when someone is murdered, 80% of the time it's the spouse who committed the crime. In the family home, investigators found a cap to a syringe they believe was used on Suzanne. It was found in the dryer in the home. The cap turned out to be a cap from a syringe used to tranquilize animals. Barry told investigators that he doesn't know how the cap got there. When police searched the home, they couldn't find a tranquilizer rifle. However, Barry did tell police he was experienced in handling a tranquilizer gun. He said he's used them to illegally tranquilize deer, and removed their antlers to sell. His home suggests evidence that supports this. His walls are covered in deer heads on display. In a corner, there's a pile of deer antlers. Barry also told investigators that they'll find darts everywhere because he's been doing this since he moved into the home. Experts say that it takes up to 20 minutes for an animal to pass out after being darted with a tranquilizer gun. Police believe Barry's phone pinging all around the outside of the home is evidence that he was probably chasing Suzanne down after shooting her with the dart. A broken door frame supports this theory. They believe a struggle ensued after Barry was able to catch up to Suzanne. When authorities made Barry undress, they found scratches on his arm, which backs up their theory of a struggle. Police asked Barry to take a polygraph. He refused, claiming it was inadmissible and unreliable in court. Authorities brought all the evidence they had gathered to the district attorney's office. Nearly a year after Suzanne Morphew's disappearance, the district attorney felt there was enough evidence to proceed with a case.
Chaffee County Sheriff John Speasy, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to read you a prepared statement and then we'll introduce our district attorney and take questions after. Good afternoon. I wanted to thank you for traveling to Chaffee County on such short notice for today's briefing. Before we begin, I just wanted to speak briefly about Suzanne. I have to admit I did not know Suzanne personally before the beginning of the investigation, but now I feel I've gotten to know Suzanne quite well. I have learned that Suzanne loved her 2 daughters, Mallory and Macy, deeply, and there was nothing she wouldn't do for them. I've also learned that Suzanne had a passion for life and lived it to its fullest. I've also learned that Suzanne was very easy to like and was cherished by her closest friends. I believe that people like Suzanne are a rare find, and those who knew her were indeed very lucky. Today marks a major milestone in this investigation of Suzanne Morphew's disappearance. We are announcing that at 09:15 hours this morning, the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office arrested Suzanne Morphew's husband, Barry Morphew. He was taken into custody near his home in Concha Springs. He was alone at the time of his arrest, and he was arrested without incident. Today marks the culmination of thousands of hours in this comprehensive investigative effort to locate the mother of two who went missing May 10th of 2020. More than 70 investigators from the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and dozens of other local law enforcement agencies have provided their expertise on this case. We've executed more than 135 search warrants across Colorado. We've interviewed more than 400 individuals in multiple states. Our team has also investigated more than 1,400 tips generated from within and outside of law enforcement. In early April, the extensive work completed by our investigative team was presented to the 11th Judicial District Attorney's Office. In that multiple-hour presentation, we outlined all of the information and evidence we have taken in over the past 12 months. Following that meeting, the District Attorney's Office reviewed our case and information and solidified their decision to move forward on this case. Today is not the day for celebration, nor does it mark the end of this investigation. Rather, it's the next step in this very difficult yet very important journey as we seek justice for Suzanne and her family. I know how deeply this case has impacted our community over the past 12 months. Through multiple conversations I've had with our citizens across the county, one message was clear from everyone, and that's that they wanted answers and they wanted justice for Suzanne. Although I'm not able to offer specific details, I want to assure the community that every action our investigators took in the past year led to today's arrest. This arrest would not be possible without the assistance of our supporting law enforcement agencies, which include the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and of course the 11th Judicial District Attorney, Linda Stanley, and members of her office. Before District Attorney Linda Stanley speaks, I want to extend my deep appreciation to our community for their support they've shown us for over the past year. While this has been a trying time for our citizens, I've seen our community rally around one another and our investigative team. I'd now like to introduce District Attorney Linda Stanley.
My name is Linda Stanley. I'm the District Attorney for the 11th Judicial District, which includes Fremont County, Custer, and Chaffee counties total. I wanted to say that thanks for being here for everybody, and there's a couple of things I'd like to address about this case. First, the investigation is still ongoing. Suzanne, her body has not been found, and we are still looking into that. The investigation is ongoing. Second, Suzanne Morphew is presumed innocent until proven guilty. That's important to remember. Third, the arrest affidavit is sealed at this time. I cannot and will not discuss it. Fourth, all media inquiries from this date forward should go through my office. However, I'm sure you all are aware and know that we cannot talk about any open or active investigation, and that is per the rules of professional conduct that we will abide by. Lastly, I wanted to say that today is a good day. It's a good day for all of the men and women in law enforcement that have tirelessly worked toward getting here. They worked day in and day out, sacrificing more than any of you will ever know. They even continued working and continued their sacrifices as they were being raked over the coals and second-guessed as to their skills and abilities. I'm standing here in front of you on this good day because they never quit. Sheriff Speasy and his deputies at the Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, Alex Walker, investigator for the 11th Judicial District, those two individuals in Sheriff Speasy's office in particular are consummate professionals and, quite frankly, some of the best I've ever worked with in my entire professional career. They followed every lead, every tip, and every unanswered question, no matter what direction it led them in. They never compromised the integrity of the investigation. On several occasions over the last few months after I was sworn in on January 12th of this year, I met with these professionals and went through hours and hours of their meticulous investigation. Their investigation was presented to our office just a few weeks ago. For me, today is a good day, but for my office, this is where the work begins. There's more work to be done. However, this is an important and incredibly crucial step. And today is a good day for Suzanne. As far as I'm concerned, today is all about Suzanne. And it's about her family. And it's about all the individuals that knew her and loved her and cared about her. That's what this day is about. And it's a good day. Thank you.
Suzanne Morphew's body was never located. However, there's overwhelming evidence that she is no longer alive. Barry was charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, as well as attempting to influence a public servant. The judge ordered he be held without bail. Barry pled not guilty to all charges. He hired a team of high-profile lawyers from Denver. In 2021, Judge Patrick Murphy listened to evidence on both sides to decide if the case should go to trial. Evidence came forward that unknown male DNA was found on the glove box in Suzanne's car. It was proven not to belong to Barry or her lover Jeff. The DNA matched other swabs taken from numerous crime scenes where women were brutally raped and attacked in Phoenix, Tempe, and Chicago. It came forward that numerous Salida residents reported that Barry Morphew has been in a relationship with a woman by the last name of Dark since July of 2020. Judge Patrick Murphy said, "I find that the proof is not evident, nor is the presumption great that Mr. Morphew committed first-degree murder." However, the judge ruled there was probable cause to go to trial. He also said even though he found probable cause, it's only because I am looking at all the evidence in the light most favorable to the prosecution. He then told the court that he was obligated to allow bond for Barry Morphew. Bond was set at $500,000. He was ordered to wear an ankle monitor to ensure he stays in the general location. Barry Morphew's daughters are standing behind their father. In October of 2021, Barry Morphew's lawyers announced they plan to file a civil lawsuit, stating that prosecutors intentionally withheld exculpatory evidence that could have pointed to Barry Morphew's innocence. Judge Patrick Murphy stepped down from the Morphew trial, stating a potential conflict of interest involving possible witnesses. A new judge was appointed for the trial. Barry Morphew's legal team has put in a motion for a change of venue. The trial is slated to begin in May of 2022. Barry Morphew was married to a beautiful wife, and had 2 lovely daughters. He owned his own successful business. However, his wife was fed up with his controlling ways, and at some point became involved in a romantic affair. On Mother's Day in 2020, his wife, Suzanne, disappeared while texting with her lover. A lot of evidence points to her husband, but an unknown male's DNA was found on the glove box of her car. The DNA was also found at the scene of 3 separate attacks on women. Could Barry Morphew be innocent? Or is the unknown male DNA possibly from a mechanic who worked on her car? What do you think? Is Barry Morphew innocent or guilty? That concludes this episode. Keep your eye out for the next video, coming soon. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.
Want to help support the channel you love, and get something in return? Simply purchase some Elizabeth's Chronicles merch. We have coffee mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, cozy blankets, beach towels, phone covers and more. Use the coupon code EC10OFF4U and get 10% off your order. The link to order is in the description area below this video. Thanks for helping Elizabeth's Chronicles continue to make the videos you love.